everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I'm gonna finish off the series that I was doing with the soft pastels. But before I do that, so I am filming a bunch of stuff as much as I can in about a 3-day stretch here before the week of Christmas. It's always weird when Christmas is on a weekend because we have like the week before Christmas and the week that's in between Christmas and New Year. Which one's Christmas week? Because I feel like all the stuff that I need to get done is the week before Christmas. So to me, that's kind of Christmas week. And then that week in between the two, I can kind of take a little bit of a breather. And that's the days I'd like to have off, even though I need to not be working all of the days the week before Christmas. So I'm filming frantically a bunch of stuff. So hopefully I'm not posting all the ones that kind of sound the same in order. But sometimes I get a little confused in what I said what in what video, and I'm not a great note taker. So bear with me if you watched them in the order I've posted them, because they might not have been the order that I filmed them. But if you're on my email list, then I have sent emails because I've sent them before I filmed this. So these are in the mail. If you didn't get one and you thought you should, then you need to email me, because all of my customers should have them, or at least have the tracking by now, because I started sending them out in early December. You can win a $20 gift certificate if I sent you your catalog and you take a picture of either you with it, like a little selfie, and you don't have to put your whole face in it, because sometimes when I do it for my email, I just have like my eyes with the catalog in front of me. Or you can just put it on your desk, like in front of your Christmas tree with your favorite beverage that you're going to drink while you look at it. You can't open it. It has to just be the cover, because that's Stampin' Up's rules until it goes live. But just put it on my Facebook page, and I have the hashtag that you need, and my business page. And then everybody who does that between now and the beginning of January will go into a drawing to win a $20 gift certificate. So you do have to have gotten your catalog from me, or be a past customer to qualify for that. So I have that. And then also, every time I do a new catalog, or every time there's a new catalog out, I do a try it class. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. So that means there's one coming up at film time. It's about half full, but I have sent another email, which means there will be a few more people register. To be honest, most people register as soon as it opens, and then right when I say it's almost full. So there will be just a few more that have registered in between. So it means a little over half full probably by the time I post this video. So what it is you make 10 cards. All of them are based on new paper, so you get to try all of the new paper. You'll get to see, not all of the sheets of all of it, but in the videos, because each card has a video, I show you all of the paper. Every card will have a new ribbon. Every card will have a new embellishment. Some of them will have a new punch. Some of them will have new dies. There's no stamps because I can't send stamped images. Some will have new folders. They are all a template or a fun fold or something fun about them. So it's a real fun class, and you get the videos for all 10 cards. And then you also get a PDF. So this is one from the last July to December catalog. So just the last mini. So when you get it, it has a little YouTube thing, and if you click this, it takes you to all 10 videos. So as long as you keep this, and I have it in my book app on my iPad, you can download it to your computer, keep it on your phone, wherever, and then this will always take it to you. So then all of the fun folds have the dimensions, and you can then substitute paper in and out. And the reason we don't need stamps is because our paper is so cute that we can just work with that. So there's like, this is a template one. And you can just swap in and out of paper. These are both fun folds. Another template one, another fun fold. This was a really fun card. That was probably my favorite from this class. So you get that. Now most of my video classes do not come with PDFs because I'm a video person. Here's a couple. I've been showing different ones. So this looks like it might just be a template. This is from a couple of catalogs ago, but when you open it up, it was actually a pop-up. So that's one that we did. This one's a fun fold. Opens like this. This one's another fun fold. So I try to get as many papers on one as I can, so you can see as many, and all of them, like I said, have a new ribbon, a new embellishment, something on there. So there's that. So then here's the last card. Hopefully I've posted these in order. Otherwise you've seen them out of order. But the US demonstrator group on Facebook for Stampin' Up, it's an official Stampin' Up, like run by Stampin' Up. They did a pastels class, the soft pastels. And they asked 4 demonstrators to share some techniques, and I was one of them. So, you know, you kind of have to experiment and come up with something new because you don't want to show demonstrators like, oh, I already knew how to do that. So it's a little bit of pressure. So on this one, this video hopefully is up. And on this one, I mixed it with white pigment refill. The refills are white pads, so this video is up, but it kind of makes a chalk paint. It's a real fun texture on the card. These are all, there's a bunch of new stuff in that new catalog here. This one hopefully has posted. I've already filmed both of these. This one I know is posted because I've already posted it. This is mixed with the paste, and I used the punch to make a little mask template. So this one's up. This one, I put 2 techniques on the one card. Now you wouldn't have to. I was just trying to cram the techniques in when I was doing it because it was like a Facebook Live kind of thing. So I used Artfully Layered. I love this, and I'm fairly certain, 99% certain that this will be one of the sets that you get dies with in the try it because I'm just in love with the dies. So I used Artfully Layered. I didn't end up using many of the stamps because I used the dies and because I was using the pastels. So let's get going on this card. So I have, oh, the mother of pearl paper is beautiful, but I'm not using it on this. But this is the pearlescent paper, but you will get some other pearl paper in the class. So here's the pastels. Now they're $9. They're meant to be used. They're cheaper than a pack of designer series paper. They're cheaper than a lot of our embellishments. They're cheaper than, they're about the same price as a pack of cardstock. When you buy that stuff, when it's all gone, you don't have like a sad session that you used it all up. So same with these. When you buy them, they're $9. If you use them all up, it's because you bought them to use them. So don't be sad and don't try to not use them. There's no point in saving your pastels. Like, what are you saving them for? Saving them for a rainy pastel day? If you buy them, use them. They're not expensive because I've been scraping them. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this pearlescent paper. This has to be done in person because it's so much prettier in person. So do it in person. And there's other methods to use this, and I have a bunch of them on my channel because when I first started doing it, I was obsessed. So it's probably this past spring. Now this is your take your pick tool. And you see me use this all the time to pick my embellishments up, or I just did and it's posted because I have posted it, a Christmas tree with the windmill, a Christmas treat. And I used it to poke holes. But here's the tip, the little scraper tip. And I'm gonna use that on this card. So there's a couple of ways you can do this, and I've tried it both ways, and I haven't really decided which one works best. So let's go. I'm gonna spray a little bit of that. This is our spritzer. They may be on back order right now, but they're super inexpensive. And if you've done my retreats, you know, I love these. So I often include them in the retreats. And it's filled with 91% rubbing alcohol. So I'm just gonna kind of spritz a little bit on here. And when you spritz it on this paper, whatever makes the paper pearlescent kind of releases from the paper and floats around in there. So now I'm just gonna take, let's start with some of the Coastal Cabana. And you can see, if you watch the one where I made the chalk, this is where I scraped. I'm gonna change to a different side. So I don't just keep scraping the one side, because I don't want it to break. Like, I wanna use them, but I wanna use them correctly. So let's get that on there. We're just gonna create a really pretty background. This is Night of Navy. It kind of looks like Pacific Point until you use it, and then it's a little darker than Pacific Point. So put that on there. Then let's get a little bit of the Granny Apple green. You can see it's already starting to spread a little bit where it's hitting where the paper is wet. And then just a tiny bit of the Mossy Meadow to kind of tone it down. And then some of, I think it's Gorgeous Grape. I meant to look to see what purple it was. It looks like Gorgeous Grape, but some of these are not the color that they kind of look. So we have that on here. Now I'm gonna take a piece of scrap paper because it has a tendency to blow. But it's super fun when it mixes. So I'm gonna lay this on here. I'm gonna kind of use this as a shield. And then I'm gonna just aim it one direction. Because when you aim it, it kind of blows it that way. Just the force of the alcohol or the air coming out when you aim the alcohol, see? And when you do this, people sometimes get these and they tell me they don't work. You have to push hard. Like, it's not a little baby, oh, I don't want the stuff to come out. It's one big push. So one push, and then it squirts out. And then once it's wet, then you can squirt a little bit more because it's not gonna blow anywhere. So isn't that beautiful? And so now that I've got that a little bit more wet, any more color that you wanna add? I think I might add just a little bit more maybe of, I don't know, I kind of like it. It's very different than my other ones. And I'm gonna show you, this will be the third one now that I've done. Do we wanna add any more? Maybe a tiny bit more of a green apple. And you know, the chalk will rub off. So you have to have something to seal it. I was hoping when I did this that it would kind of mix in with that magic pearlescent stuff. And I wouldn't have to seal it, but you do have to seal it, but sealing it's fun. Now see, that is adding a little bit darker. Let's go just a little bit more of the mossy meadow. And I do this every time. When I just did the, if you've watched the cactus one, because I keep talking, I just keep going and I need to stop. So that's really pretty. Let me see if I can get it up a little closer to the camera so you can see just how pretty that is. And you do get dirty. It's a dirty, if you are a demonstrator and you do this as a class, or if you go to a demonstrator who has this as a class, I may do an online class with it. You get a little messy. It's okay, put on an old shirt. You can see I have on a sweatshirt. It's a little messy, but sometimes art's messy. Sometimes that's the fun part of doing it. So we're gonna set this aside and we're just gonna let this sit for a second. We'll move on to the other technique. So for this one, I'm gonna move that. My table has taken a hit from this technique, doing all the pastels. So over Christmas, when we come back in January, hopefully my table will be mostly white again. I do like it to look a little distressed because then I don't worry about when it gets dirty. But my husband I clear everything off and then he repaints it. So it's been repainted lots and lots and lots and lots of times, but it was originally a brown table and it was originally plain, and he cut the little holes into it for me. So for this one, I'm gonna take Versamark, and I've already got some chalk on here. Oh well. So this is the Versamark. Ink it up well. This is way too big of a piece of vanilla, but like I said, I'm trying to film a whole bunch of stuff. So if there's a color I need and it's already semi-close to the color that I want, I'm just using it. So get this. And then I'm gonna use our heat and stick powder, which is really designed for our gold leafing, but it works perfect for this. And this is one of the things that when I tried it, I was like, oh, please let it work. I did try a couple of things that didn't work crash hot. I think had I not been so pressed for time, like I agreed to do the online class thing, because I was like, you can come up with something, but I really didn't have as much time as I would have liked to have experimented. I love to play and to come up with new stuff, but she asked at Thanksgiving and I had catalogs to mail out. I had card club. I had the recipe book class. I just was inundated with things that had to be done. So then when it was all said and done, I didn't have as much time to play with this. So I do have a couple of other things that I will go back to work on. And if I do a pastels class, we'll do them in there. So when you work with the heat and stick, you can see that it is very powdery, right? You need to heat it till it changes color and just till it changes to shiny. If you heat it at 1 second past it going to shiny, then it just heats and it doesn't stick. You want it to heat and stick, not heat and doesn't stick. So one of the secrets is to get your heat gun hot. And if you're a demonstrator and you watched me do this and you thought I had some kind of a magic heat gun, because apparently when I did this on the Zoom thing on Facebook, you couldn't hear my heat gun, but it's because we all had two cameras. We had a camera that was filming our hands and a camera that was set up for our faces. And so my face camera was the one I chose to do my microphone. And it was farther away from the heat thing. So I'm gonna show you this. Make sure your gun's already nice and hot. If you use it to heat up over the top, like if I get my gun hot over the top of this, that part's gonna not work because it will take too long. But now we're good. So now just move it, and as soon as it changes, just move it. And there we go. This one little tip right there I missed, and we're done. So seriously, if you go a second longer than that, it's not going to work. So now when you touch it, it's sticky, and you'll be able to feel it be sticky. So now I'm gonna take my pastels again, because you know I'm showing you some ways to use your pastels, and I'm gonna use some of the greens. So let's go with the Mossy Meadow. This one gets you really dirty. And then just a little bit of the Coastal Cabana, which I don't think I used the first time. The last time I used mostly the Mossy Meadow. And then I'm gonna do some Granny Apple. I'm gonna try to do this one a little bit brighter than my other ones were. And this time I'm even gonna use just a smash of purple. So you got that on here. And then if you don't wanna get dirty, you can get a dauber or something out. I don't care because my hands are already dirty. But look, it's like magic. So you just put it on here and it sticks to where the heat and stick was. It's so much fun. And the nice thing is, see, it gets dirty, you just wipe it off. It gives it all of those little pieces of color kind of stick in there. And I will take a couple of up close pictures so you can kind of, it has like a verdigris look to it because it sticks, like here you can see the Granny Apple and some of the purple, like it goes down into the little crevices. So then there are some dies. So this one just cuts it out. So I'm gonna run this one through and it'll just cut that out. I'm gonna fast forward that bit because you don't see all these dies go through. So here's this one. And the nice thing, because it colors the edges of everything, if your dies are a little off center, like this one could have been shoved over just a fraction, it doesn't matter. So that's nice. Now I'm gonna take, it kind of matches this die. This is one of the ones I think we'll use and try it, but there's a couple of them. And this is the metallic gold. So we're gonna do this one. I'll run this through. And then on my other ones, I used the gold glimmer paper. This is the pink. And you can notice I didn't put any pink on this card. Well, this is rose because we have rose and the gold. But I'm gonna use a little piece of rose because when I noticed my card sitting there as the colors kind of blended together and it mixed with the alcohol, I don't know which of the colors, it's maybe the purple that's kind of going pink. Okay, so we have those run through. Now for this, like I said, the alcohol, because it evaporates pretty quickly. It's beautiful and it's separated and I would just love to leave it like that, but you can't because it will just come off on your hands because there's a lot of pastels on the top of there. Now when you color with a pastel, if people would like get their cards and be like, oh, I love this, and rub their hands all over it, it might come off. But this has like piles of pastel on it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to our embossing gun and I'm going to take, oh look, this says it's gold and this says it's clear because I didn't pay attention after the class the other night when I put the lids back on. So I'm gonna start with the clear. And you have to remember there's nothing on here, right? It's just pretty much dry because the alcohol is mostly evaporated. So I'm just gonna put a light coat of this and that will help seal that in. So I'm trying to get as even as I can everywhere. And then you can't heat this from the top because if you heat it from the top, while there's not a ton of air in an embossing gun, there is enough that it would blow it off because there's nothing sticking that to it. So I'm just gonna heat it from the bottom. And it will give it a fun little glass effect and it will help to seal that in there. And it gives this glass, marble, just a real fun texture, which really goes nicely with this tropical feel bundle. And it also, the paper that comes with this bundle is super fun and I love it, but this is a whole different look. So you can take the same stamps and dies and mix it with this and you get a different look than you'll have when you use it with the paper that comes with it. So, and it also kind of amplifies those colors, and that's really kind of where that pink, that I didn't use any pink because there's no pink chalk, but it kind of makes it look a little pink. Now once you've got it so it's mostly melted, then you can go ahead and heat the top. Now I want to get it nice and hot because all of those fun Art Deco kind of papers we have right now, they have that little splattering of gold. That's why I have gold, even though it says clear. So I'm just gonna take gold, and with the lightest possible touch that you can, just add some gold. And you just really want it to have little flecks, and not everywhere, because the first time I did it, I put way too much and it covered up my beautiful design. So just a little bit, and then when you melt that again from the bottom, it will have stuck a little bit if your paper's still kind of warm, but not enough that will hold it. But it just adds that fun little metallic bit. And again, embossing powders are another one of those things. They're hard to use up unless you spill them, which I've done that before. But they're meant to be used. They're not to be saved on your shelf until a time when it's time to say that you have too much stuff and you have to get rid of something. So use them to create beautiful backgrounds. You could do this one day on a snowy day that's getting ready to come up and just make a bunch of backgrounds and then put them aside and then be ready to use them for different projects. Because this looks beautiful with this stamp set, but you could use it with a lot. Look how pretty that is. This time I'm going to try to put it back. I know I was hoping that on these days that I was going to film a lot, we would have beautiful sunny weather, but no, we have a rainy, cloudy day. So just so pretty. Now here's the one I did during the live, and look how pink. Again, there was no pink. There's no pink. Here's the colors I used, and I'm 100%, and I didn't use percent positive. I didn't use poppy. But look how much pink came out of whatever combination that I spread on that night. And I would go back and watch the live, but I hate to watch myself, so that won't happen. But definitely, it must have been the purple. And again, I was heavy on the embossing powder because I'm always heavy when I'm filming. So now all we have to do is put this together. And I do have different colors, like I said, than I did the first card I made, just so we can see what it looks like a little bit different. So this is Blackberry. Let me see what color the chalk is. So it tells you the colors. It's Gorgeous Grape. But this looks really pretty with these colors. It kind of stabilizes them. Even with this one, with that, this looks like it could be magenta, but you can tell it is where it came from because when it squirted with the alcohol. And that night I didn't use the right size because I didn't make a full card. I just showed him how to do it. I don't want to touch it while it's still a little hot, so I'm just going to put my adhesive here. And then of course the paper does curl because it's been heated a couple of times. It's been wet and then it's been heated. There we go. So for this card, on the other one I used the jade and gold ribbon. On this one I'm going to use our gold shimmer, and this is in the holiday catalog, but I'm fairly certain that it's still available for a few more days. I don't think it's one of the things that's sold out yet. I looked yesterday and I should have looked again today, but I figured it didn't matter because this isn't gonna post today. And on the other one, I just tied a knot. On this one, I am gonna tie a bow, just to give a little bit something different. I don't have embellishments on either one of them because there's a lot going on with this background, but you could add the champagne rhinestones. You could add the new iridescent rhinestones that are my gift with purchase. If you buy something in December, I think they'd look pretty because they have all these kind of colors. They have a pink undertone, which I wouldn't have put on the card the first time I did it because I didn't think I was using pink. So just trim this, and then I'm gonna trim it down once I figure out where these are going. So I'm gonna start with this rose gold one in the back. And see, I used no rose. I used no any pink of any kind, but look how pretty that looks on there. So I'm just gonna put some adhesive right here. And you kind of have to make sure that it sticks because that embossing, yeah, there's some on there, can resist the. Let's put that there. And then I'm gonna stick the gold one so it goes a little bit of a different direction. Now you can see why I haven't put my ribbon on yet. And then this one I'm gonna sandwich in between since we've got lots of space to put in some adhesive and just sandwich this in here. And for this one, you've got the double thing of not wanting to cover up someplace that's really pretty. So kind of just go, this is a different direction than my other one, but I kind of want this to kind of still show. So let's put it there. And then I'm gonna put the ribbon to this side, which is, the other one just had a knot. Put it there. And then I'm gonna take my glue dots, since I've got all of the pastels on here. I'm just gonna attach this in with a glue dot. And same with over here. I'm not gonna bother to tuck this under. I'm just gonna trim it so it looks pretty. I bought my cats a new water fountain because, you know, they're always in here with me all day long. And I felt like maybe they weren't drinking enough when they're in here all day long, but it's like a real fountain because they're spoiled. But I feel like sometimes when I'm not talking that you guys can hear, like I have a full-on water fountain. So isn't that just gorgeous? And with pastels, and it's such a great way to get that many colors onto a fun project. So here is the other background that I made, and I've lost the other one of these that I did make one that night. I may have thrown it out because, you know, trying to get lots of stuff done, I don't want my table all cluttered. And then here's the original one. So this one just has, every time you do a background, see, it's gonna be different. This, actually I did the lightest touch. That doesn't happen very often when I'm with you guys. I tend to talk and overdo everything, but this one I did do a little bit of a lighter touch. So they're gonna look different every time. This one has a little bit less of the pink, a little bit more of the gold. I did throw out the piece of paper where I dumped way too much gold, so I've really done this 4 times, but the first time it was beautiful, and then I put too much of the gold embossing powder and it just all disappeared and became practically a gold piece of paper. This one I did more of the, probably more, I don't know what more color I did. They're just gonna be different every time. So if you find a combination that you like if you like this one better than this one, I would jot it down on a sticky note and put it inside your pastel thing. Like when I do leaves, this is the color combination. More of this and less of that. I like them both. So there you go. That is my pastel series. I might do a class. I might do one maybe in February or March if the pastels are not ever on back order. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you're not on my email list, then hop over to my website and you can sign up for it there. That way you always know what's going on. Everybody have a great day. And if you're watching this and it's still before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye.